That's great. So very well introduction about Novel Vista. Thank you. And team, that's me, Vikas Sharma, with around 16 plus. So actually, I carry around 22 years of experience. And let me share my screen, and we will quickly review the agenda. So please confirm once my screen is visible. Do you see it?
Yes, Vikas, your screen is visible.
Okay. Let me just, yeah. Yes. So team, this would be our agenda for today. I've kept it small and crisp. We would be spending time on understanding the what is Gen AI or what is AI in ITSM and how does it help. In fact, we have done a lot of webinars and we've been discussing a lot of things about Gen AI. So what I thought that we will try to take one tool, which could be like ChatGPT, and how you can utilize the data, maybe for incidents or problems or known errors. So I have some raw dump. Um, I'll not name the client. It's not related to any organization, but just a raw dump and how you can get the insights, how these tools, AI tools, can help you to be more proactive, more predictive. So we will take those kind of cases or those kind of scenarios as we go ahead. But before we jump onto that, I thought maybe a little bit of summary or a little bit of theory that is needed. So we will go through that. We will try to start with the core of service delivery, then Gen AI, a powerful tool, then AI in action, use cases, transforming processes in ITIL or ITSM. And then we will take some examples of tools. I mean, which kind of tools, like you have ServiceNow. So which are the other tools that can be integrated with ServiceNow to make it more intelligent? We'll be talking about that. Then we will look at some integration strategies for seamless operations, how you can collect the information and how you can embed all this information into LLM and how you train those LLMs over a period of time so that you get a lot of insights and you can try to avoid failures and you can do amazing root cause analysis, come up with the preventive actions. So this will ensure that your outages, your impact to the business gets reduced over a period of time. So how to do that? For that, what should be your strategy? What should be a kind of roadmap? We will try to see. I've got some future trends that are shaping future of ITSM. In fact, what are those specific roles that have come in the demand because of this AI? So we will try to see those kind of roles as well. Very high level view of those roles. And then what should be your next actions? What should be your takeaway? We will discuss that in the end. And with that, I will open the session for question answers. And then I'll answer your questions and then we will discuss what next. What are the different certifications that we can offer to help you get into those different roles? Or you are here for AI and ITSM. So do we have a certification for that? We will discuss about that as well. So team, with that, let's start. So you already know core of service delivery. Now traditional challenges that we already face, we were working in a very siloed environment. There were a lot of silos. In fact, information was not passed from one department to the another. Our information models that we use. So for every department, there was a different area where they used to maintain their information. Even if they are using a SharePoint, every team would have a restricted access to that particular information. Only they would be able to access only their information. So that means teams were working in a very siloed way. They were not integrated. So they were not talking to each other. And the impact of this was the business was not able to deliver on their commitments. In fact, that created a watermelon effect as well. Now, by now, most of you who are already working in ITSM, IT service management, you already know what the watermelon effect is, where all the parties they just follow those guidelines. They want to make their deliverables look green, their SLAs look green, but they stick to only those guidelines. They don't go that extra mile. So they don't work together, they don't collaborate, and business gets impacted. So these were some of the challenges, like limited support resources, uneven service quality across different teams, high cost of inefficient processes. Well, to overcome this, now we have AI. So AI revolution that came in, that means we are talking about Industry 4.0. And that's where now, as we are talking about ITSM, IT Service Management, so ITIL4 also covers all these areas where ITIL4 says that we have to ensure that we are more proactive, we are more focused on creating value. How to do that? That's when AI comes in. So we are doing a lot of smart automations. We are providing a personalized support. In fact, how to get in there, how to understand that what customer wants, and that too with the minimal time. So we are using a lot of tools, and we will see certain examples as well. So quick problem detection, predictive analysis, or we should be able to implement corrective actions, preventive actions without wasting time. Better decisions with smart data analysis, where your tools, AI tools or Gen AI tools, can help you with analyzing certain data within no time, and ongoing learning and service improvements. Well, you would say, Vikas, there's nothing new in this. You already know this. Yes. So I thought maybe we'll start with the very basics. And Gen AI has now come into our lives. And you already know what Gen AI is. See, Gen AI, when we talk about generative AI, artificial intelligence, it is a piece of artificial intelligence which generates new information every time. So it could be text, it could be codes, it could be images, it could be anything. It generates a new information. In fact, it is not going to copy any analysis which was done by somebody else. And maybe there was some flaw. So it's not going to give you that. It is going to give you the better one. In fact, the new one. It's only that you have to be very good at engineering your prompts. The better the prompt is, the better you have trained your tool on certain data, it's going to enhance that information, because these tools, they are large language models. I mean, they're working on large language models where they train themselves. And if you talk about these kind of models that are training themselves on that particular data, the better the prompt that you are going to give, it is going to go through that information again and again. Again, it will refine itself, and you will have better information with you. So that's where Gen AI creates that competitive edge for all of you. In fact, key capabilities are natural language processing. In fact, I'll give you a very simple example here. When we talk about natural language processing, see, for service desk, we get user satisfaction. Let's say you close a ticket and there is a user satisfaction survey that goes to the user, and user has to fill in that survey, and there is a response that comes in. Now, there could be a lot of free text. There's a comment section where user might have given some free text. Now, to analyze that, you will have to go through each and every ticket or each and every response. And maybe service desk might have handled around 20,000 interactions or 30,000 interactions in that particular month. Going through each and every interaction would be a pain. So there, these natural language processing, and this is one of the capability for most of the Gen AI tools. So this natural language processing, they can scan that free text. It is more of an unsupervised learning that they can do, and they can give you more predictive analysis. They can help you understand where the pain area is, and what is the let's say pulse of those users, and where are we lacking? What should we do differently to improvise? So that's where these key capabilities come in. And then if we talk about contextual intelligence, yes, so it provides that advanced understanding of the context, nuances, and complex scenarios. It can scan it, it can review it, it can give you the insights. Multimodal generation, ability to create, interpret content across text, images, audios, videos, you name it, and it will do it. Well, brief history, and you might have seen this earlier also. I just wanted to do that correlation. When we are talking about Gen AI, generative AI, or even if we talk about AI, AI is a very big picture. Within AI, we had machine learning, Now, when we talk about machine learning, within machine learning, we discuss about two types of learning: supervised learning, unsupervised learning. Supervised learning, where it is going to scan the label data. I'm going to show you some label data. I have that down. So let's say we are talking about the incidents. What is that incident number? Who handled it? Who was the user? What was the issue? The category, subcategory, and what was the solution provided? Is it related to any problem or changes? So that becomes your supervised learning. When you train your LLM, large language model, on that particular data, it is more of a supervised learning. And it can give you great insights. It can tell you what could be the next types of incidents that will come over what kind of period. And in fact, what we should do to avoid those incidents. It can give you that kind of insight. So that is more of a supervised learning. Unsupervised learning, like I gave you example of going through a lot of free text where data is not labeled, where it is not mentioned that it is incident or it is a problem or this is the number or this is the user. So it scans that, I mean, it has that capability of NLP, natural language processing, and then it can give you a lot of insights from that as well. So that is more of a unsupervised learning. Now that is machine learning. Now within machine learning, we talk about a section that is deep learning. What is this deep learning? When we talk about deep learning, it is using those artificial neural networks. So there are artificial neural networks which work like our brain. We have neurons in the brain. So there you have multiple nodes. So you have 3 layers, and within those 3 layers, when we send any prompt, it is going to collect the information and then it will be pinged, or it will scan different parameters. I mean, more than billion parameters that are being scanned. And then more appropriate information will be generated, and that is within no time. So that concept works in the deep learning. And now when we talk about using Chat GPT or Copilot, or you talk about any particular tool, so that works on the deep learning. Now within that deep learning, we have the Gen AI, which is more of covering unsupervised learning, and it creates a lot of correlations. And that Gen AI works on that large language model, LLM, where it can scan multiple parameters, more than 540 billion parameters, or it has crossed even that, and it will give you more appropriate information. So it is more advanced, versatile, capable than the current AI technologies, learns and adapts more autonomously, understand context better, exhibit higher levels of creativity, problem-solving abilities, interact with humans in more natural and intuitive ways. Now, this is just a brief history. We are just looking at the history as we wanted to correlate how AI is coming into our ITSM and why now. So if we look at the deep learning part, it started from 2008 onwards. For those 9 years, 2008 to 2017, it was the era of deep learning. And prior to that, a lot of information was collected. We were scaling, but we were scaling at a nominal rate. But and I mean, from this era in 2008 and to 2017, we scaled very fast. And that was the time when a lot of information was collected and that deep learning actually started. And now, when we talk about 2017 onwards, now that was the time when this Gen AI got introduced, or large language models came into the picture because of that deep learning. And now we are in the post deep learning, or deep learning is already over. Now we are into the era where we are making use of that particular information. Now, in fact, we are not going to stop there. It's going to collect the information. It is going to evaluate that. More parameters will be added, and it will grow as we go ahead. Now, team, that was brief of what Gen AI is. Now, if we talk about Gen AI, talking to ITSM, I'm bringing you back to ITSM because it's a vast area. If we keep talking about Gen AI, entire day can be spent. But now, as we are talking about Gen AI in action related to ITSM, so AI-powered ticketing, in fact, automated ticket classification can be done, routing and prioritization. Now, you would say, what is the Gen AI? No, this can be done with AI as well. In fact, before Gen AI, we had started using AI in ServiceNow. And let's say we were using a tool like App Dynamics or Dynatrace for monitoring different parameters or different attributes of different applications based on different thresholds, based on the performance of those applications. Those automated tickets were created. So we started using AI. But in fact, there could be some failures, some incorrect categorization of the tickets, or some incorrect prioritization that might have happened. So we were trying to learn from that, and that is when Gen AI comes in, large language model, and can help you in getting those discrepancies, fix them, and have better way to do it. In fact, we used to write a lot of Python scripts also. Even now, we are writing those Python scripts to do those automations, automatically creating the tickets, and then even auto resolution. We have done that. In fact, if we talk about intelligent chatbots, that is helping your service desk to reduce the volume. Now, we were just having a discussion the other day, and I'm going to show you how service desk is evolving with the help of Gen AI. But very soon, if you look at the role of service desk, we would need more of a technical service desk role. If we talk about just a normal service desk, we might not need that role anymore over a period of time, because our services, the way we handle the tickets, the way we are resolving those tickets, it's changing. And a lot of automation is helping us to eliminate the manual task, or the task that is very generic and is repetitive in nature. In fact, in SRE, we refer to that as toil. And any toil can be eliminated through automations, and that is when AI comes in. So intelligent chatbots have come in. They provide 24/7 support. The self-service that has been enhanced, and personalized interactions to ensure that users are not feeling that as if they are talking to certain machine, or they are being ignored. They are not getting that kind of feeling. So those intelligent chatbots, and that is again possible because of the Gen AI introduction into the chatbot. Otherwise, chatbot was just machine learning when it started, and that was also more of a supervised learning. But now it is improvising. Then we have knowledge-based enhancements. Now, in ITSM, IT Service Management, you already know we have problem management. Within that, we work on creating known errors. Known error database is updated. Now, known error, we have the workaround and the RCA being done for those known errors. And that is where your Gen AI tools can help you analyze that particular data, or your any LLM tool, you train that tool on that particular information, and it can help you enhance and even find out any duplicate known errors or any duplicate problems. It will help you to see whether those workarounds, or assess whether those workarounds are being implemented. And there you will see incidents, how many incidents have reopened. So you can relate those things to see effectiveness of those particular databases. Now that is when knowledge-based enhancement comes into the picture. Then you have predictive incident resolution. Like I told you, based on the incident data, we can have more of a predictive analysis that can be done. And I'll show you an example as well as we go ahead when we talk about the incidents. Now, team, use cases. So you already know automated knowledge base. So AI-powered content creation, curation, and knowledge discovery. That is possible. In fact, we are talking about change management, where we are doing the predictive modeling, impact analysis, risk mitigations. We can try to identify which kind of changes have failed. And also we can draw a pattern that which kind of changes are failing, why they must be failing. We can try to draw that analysis. In fact, incident resolution. So finding out appropriate root cause, anomaly detection, proactive alerts. So these are some of the use cases which we also discussed and which we are going to discuss further as well. Now, if you look at Gen AI, transforming the ITSM capabilities. So here we are using advanced natural language processing for context-aware communication. In fact, predictive analytics with machine learning-driven forecasting, ML-driven forecasting, intelligent automation, reducing manual intervention by 70%. And these numbers are from the market. Real-time machine learning insights for data-driven decisions. It is enhancing your decision-making. It is helping you reduce the business impact, make your business more available, or increase the availability of your business, and even thereby reducing the cost, growing the business economics. And if we talk about certain further use cases, as we discussed, intelligent ticket routing, automated knowledge management, proactive incident prediction, AI-enhanced self-service support. In fact, if we talk about the tools, these are just some examples. You have AWS AI services available. Similarly, you will have it in Azure. You also have it in Google. So here we are talking about comprehensive infrastructure for machine learning, including NLP, natural language processing, and predictive analytics. So that is enhancing the AWS AI, which will enhance our ITS. ChatGPT, you already know, advanced conversational AI capability for intelligent chatbots or self-support or self-service support. In fact, we can have ServiceNow AI that integrates intelligent workflows across IT operations, automating tasks and providing insights. And then we are also talking about Microsoft Azure cognitive services. Like I told you, AWS has it, you have it in Azure, you have it in Google also. Now here, if we talk about Service Desk, so for Service Desk, how is it helping? Intelligent ticket routing that we already discussed. Then you have self-service enhancement. If we talk about self-service enhancement, we can take a particular data and we can train our LLM on that particular data, and we can ask that LLM to act as a chatbot, which can provide a better solution based on the knowledge base that we are going to feed into that LLM. And it can give us it can help users with their queries, with resolving those issues by themselves. It can guide them what should be the each step. So that kind of self-service enhancement, that is possible. And then NLP, driven customer experience. So as I told you earlier, I gave you this example earlier where we were talking about user satisfaction or user feedback that comes in, and we train our models on that user feedback, and these models are going to enhance the customer experience. They can give us the pulse of our users, and thereby we understand what is their intent, their sentiments, and context. So there we can provide more personalized services, and we can have more empathetic interactions with those users. Now, these are just some of the tools like ServiceNow AI, and UiPath automatically categorizes and prioritizes incoming services, where you can have service desk tickets based on their urgency, complexity, priority. Those things can be categorized, prioritized automatically. You have personalized user support. So AI-powered chatbots such as IBM Watson and Google Dialogflow provide instant context-aware responses. Now, this is more of that NLP part. There are a lot of use cases of IBM Watson. You will see those use cases, very very simple and interesting use case was using that Watson into the cars, where understanding the driving patterns and how rash the person drives the car, providing suggestions in case a user is not liking the suggestions. It also helps in understanding gives that information to the driver. Then after how many miles or how many kilometers that particular car would need maintenance. And in fact, it can go one step ahead. You can also book an appointment with the garage, whatever data you feed into that on that particular application. It will book the appointment with the garage on that particular day, and you can go and get your car maintenance done. Well, that's where it increases the life of that particular product. It enhances the user satisfaction, the convenience. So that's where the personalized user support is enhancing user satisfaction or user experience. Now, these are some of the tools for root cause analysis. I got Gen AI into the problem management, but before we go into the problem management, that's a problem from my end. It should be incident management that should have come here. But as we are talking about the problem management, so let me take an example of problem management. See, it helps in doing the root cause analysis or identifying the root causes of recurring issues by analyzing historical data and patterns. Proactive problem detection, automated knowledge base updates. That's where Gen AI is helping in the problem management. So root cause analysis now, in fact, what I'll do, I'll stop sharing my screen. Once again, I'll share the entire screen because I have to show you the use case I mean, by using just the chatbot or chat GPT. So just give me 1 minute. I'm going to share my screen again. And here we go. Forgot to share screen, entire screen. Now I'm doing it again. And Mayuri, I would need your help. Can you confirm if my screen is visible?
Yes, Vikas, your screen is visible.
Okay, okay. Now team, let's try to do something with the chat GPT. I have an application here. I have some raw dump. I'll try to use that raw dump with the application. What's it? It's coming up. Yeah. So team, let me start a new one. This was mainly for time and exclaim. Well, if I talk about the data, let's say this is incident raw dump. I've got this data, you get similar data in the ServiceNow. So I'm trying to add that information here. Let me show you what that information is all about. And this is dummy data. Please don't consider it to be the real-time data. It's dummy data, similar to real-time data. So let me tell you, I have incident number, I have system ID, I have category of the incident, subcategory I've added. So we have some business services, configuration item, and if we talk about the description, I have the description, I mean, short description, state, whether it is closed, new, resolved. I have the priority, impact and urgency, assignment group. Yeah. So I have some comments, work notes, watch list, notify, closure codes, closure notes, reopen count, resolved. I mean, you have all this information. Now, this is just to show you what information I have fed into that particular tool. Now, I just go here. See, team, there are multiple tools. We also have something called as Julius.ai. So right now, I'm just going to show you this particular tool because most of you are aware on how to use the ChatGPT. So I'm going to train this LLM on this particular data. So I'm just writing a prompt. View the So team, I'm just trying to check what information I get. So I have posted that information in that particular model, and it is, I mean, I've given a prompt that I want it to review that down. It's data of around 500 incidents, and I wanted to review that particular dump and give me the predictive analysis. So it's just working on it. It's going to take some time because it's about 500 incidents, and then it will share that information. So by the time it brings in that information, see team, you have to re-engineer your prompt. Now this prompt is very simple. Once we get some information, now see it has gone through that particular information. So once we get more information, or let's say a response to our prompt, if you are not satisfied, we have to re-engineer it and keep re-engineering it till the time you get the appropriate information. So here it has given me the category of incidents, like there are 115 in database, security, hardware, network, software. So you get all that information. It's giving me the segregation by priority, how many P3s, P2s, P4s, P1s, P5s. And then I have ID support, assignment groups. I mean, these are different assignment groups, how many tickets assigned to which particular team. But this is just a dummy data. You can have many more support groups. I've just added these four. And monthly trends. So let's say 2-month incident number 500. This is just a raw dump. Well, average resolution time, I did not add that information, but yeah, you can have better information. So it says I've analyzed the incident data and provide insights. Now, let's try to re-engineer our prompt. Please share the main pain areas. Well, you need not write please, but that's my habit. It's a bot. I mean, you can avoid writing a please. So let's say it says share the main pain areas, and also let me know what type of incidents will come in the future, how to fix them, and how to fix them. For, let's say I'm trying to get that information. Well, see, team, this is for incident management. Similarly, I have some raw dump for problem management. We can do it for problems, known error database. I'll show you that dump as well. But I'm just trying to give you an idea that how you can play with this information, how you are training that LLM. Now, this particular chat GPT, this model is looking at this data for the first time. So it is taking time. Otherwise, it will have to take less time. So it is giving me, again, the breakup of that information. Now, it has brought in the subcategory as well, peripheral issues, slow network, email, and all. Now, main pain areas, frequent incident categories. Now, these are frequent ones where I have database issues, security concerns, and what type of issues are there. It's giving me that data as well. High priority incidents, P1, P2, incidents with high reopen rates, talks about incident taking longest to resolve, and then predicted future incidents. So it's telling me which incidents are most likely to come in the future. Now, what is the permanent fix? Now, this is more meaningful. It says database issues, the query performance database crashes. So optimize the database queries and indexing, implement proper database caching, schedule regular performance audits. So it's giving me all the idea how to fix these. In fact, this is where I can also scan information on the problems, and I can, or let's say I can feed in this data, and the most common that you can do is based on the problem management data and incident management raw dump or incident raw dump. Please share the Pareto analysis. Let's see if we get some information on this. So it's going to analyze that. In fact, this activity that I'm doing, it is just to give you that information or insight. And after this, we will jump onto our remaining slides and we will discuss next slides. But this is just to make you comfortable, to show you how you can train your LLMs on a huge data. Now I have 500 incidents, and it is reviewing these 500 problems as well. So similar to incidents, I've collected the information about the problems. And it shares that raw dump. Now here, I can get into this mode. I can try to, yeah. Is it still working on it? So these are those areas which are contributing to 80% of the business impact. So I need to focus on these areas. But I can re-engineer my prompt. I can get the graph analysis. It can give me the graph as well. Oh, my bad. I clicked on the database cell, so it would be doing that for database. I can stop it. I can. This is more on what you can do. You can do a different slicing and dicing of the data, because right now this chat GPT is acting as a chatbot for me. I'm giving a command and it's following the command and it's giving me that information. So maybe it's going to take some time. So we'll come back and we'll see that later. But that's more on utilizing the chat GPT or any particular model on identifying the root causes as well, anomaly detections. In fact, if I show you, yeah, this is more of that cumulative impact analysis. I've got this picture. In fact, if I just try to find out from the problem management, can you share the effectiveness of workarounds? Effectiveness of the workarounds. So it can give us a lot of information on that also. So we can see whether our root cause detection. I mean, have we identified the right root causes? How effective are our workarounds? How well we have created the known errors, known error databases, the most commonly used known error. So you can get all that information, and you need to train your model on that particular information. That is must. So team, now if we talk about tools for root cause analysis, tools like Splunk. Now Splunk is going to be doing more of a log analysis. So you can use Splunk, you have Dynatrace. Well, these are not just the tools, there are many such tools. Prometheus is a really good one. So you can identify those tools which can help you with the white box monitoring along with black box monitoring. If you do that, use those kind of tools, which are better one, not just these. So they can get you to the exact root cause. For example, let's say if some code fails, certain line of the code has failed and application is not working. So with the white box monitoring tools and the black box monitoring tools, you can identify when there was an issue with which particular component. Let's say maybe it was a database server. On the database server, how many queries were running, and then which query was consuming most resources. And so you can give that information to the development team and then rewrite those queries and get that fixed so that those things can be fixed immediately without wasting time. Well, I'm just giving you some examples of AI into the problem management or into our business, day-to-day business that we are using. You can have anomaly detection, predictive analysis, and these are some of the name of the tools, like you have Datadog, you have New Relic, PagerDuty, Microsoft Azure AI. Then similarly, you have a Gen AI in change management. So in fact, if I now, I mean, instead of wasting time in the data, we'll spend time on the questions. But I also have a information on the change management, raw dump. You feed that information into the chatbot, I mean, into the chat GPT, and it can also tell you which kind of changes were successful, which changes are unsuccessful, or which are the failed changes, and why they are failing. You can try to identify those reasons. You can see which were kind of changes that were approved by CAB, or how many standard changes, how many normal changes, how many emergency changes. For effective change management, you will have to ensure that the overall emergency changes should go down. In fact, you can see the stakeholder communication. Was communication done on time? What were those patterns of communication? And see, when we do certain changes, so now that we are in cloud, if you are already in cloud, you have a lot of AI tools that are already available on cloud, which can reduce your overall downtime. They can do the failovers automatically. You can have that blue green environments being created, and you do the deployment on one of the environments, then push the traffic and then the another environment. Those things are very easy. So there is likely to be no downtime when you're in cloud. But if there are certain organizations who are still on their on-premises cloud, or let's say, I'm not talking about cloud, but let's say on-premise data center, so then they would face such problems. So there, your AI tools can really help. So it can help in the change impact analysis. It can analyze how many CIs, and it can help you create a better change schedule, effective communication, and success rate optimization. So that information you can get from the AI into the chain management. Oh, well, I've just taken an example of problem, incident, service desk, change. You can also have it for SLM. I'm going to show you something for SLM also. So you have change impact analysis tools, you have ServiceNow, then you have BMC Helix for automated documentation. Well, these are just examples. And you have Jira for success rate optimization or CloudBees, and then you have stakeholder communication through PagerDuty or your Teams or Zoom, or I mean, there could be many. Well, if we talk about the SLM use cases, so it can analyze historical data and it can give you the information about what kind of SLA targets would be best. What are smart SLA, smart targets? That is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. So it can help you in identifying those smart targets. And then you can see whether business is satisfied with those or not. So you can really identify what is achievable, what is more meaningful, what is measurable. So there it helps. It helps in effective capacity planning. AI can predict future service demands and optimize resource allocation and prevent any failures on the SLA also. Performance monitoring. So Gen AI enables real-time performance tracking and provide predictive analytics. In fact, all our AI tools, if we talk about monitoring the performance of different microservices, mainly on latency, availability. So we are doing that. So you have those tools that are already available, like we discussed about App Dynamics or Dynatrace or Prometheus. Well, these can be used. If you talk about the old tools, you already had monitoring tools like Nagios, which can be integrated, which can be made more proactive. Now, these are some of the examples in SLM, like your ServiceNow Impact, then Azure AI, Google Cloud AI, you can have AWS, and then, like I told you, for performance monitoring, Dynatrace, App Dynamics, those are certain tools. Well, integration strategies for seamless operation. We should have API integrations, leverage APIs to connect LLMs to your ITSM tools. Like you can have ChatGPT integrated into ServiceNow, or you can have your Copilot, which is already there. In Microsoft is working a lot on the Copilot integrations. So you should have those APIs being established so that your large language models get trained on the real-time data. Then you have workflow automations. So integrate LLMs into ITSM workflows to streamline those processes, like we said, IPC, incident problem change, or could be any particular process. Then you talk about the data enrichment, use LLMs to enrich ITSM data, and user integration, or user interface integration for acting as a chatbot or real-time assistant. Now, approach to LLM deployment. Now, people were asking me that how long will it take? So I've just created a specific timeline. It again depends on how big is the scope and how much data do we have. So here, mainly we do that assessment, evaluate ITL processes, identify AI integration opportunities, and then we are going to do the model deployment. So that is around 6 to 8 weeks. You design, train, fine tune your LLM for specific ITL use cases. So you need to train your LLM model on that particular information of your your particular organization. And then you do the pilot implementation. Now test the LLMs in controlled environment, validate performance. Then you have the full deployment, which can be gradual rollout, comprehensive integration. That would take around a couple of months. I mean, 1.5 months to a couple of months. So this is your overall timeline for around 6 months that you can plan. So that's mainly for the LLMs and how LLMs can help that we already discussed. In fact, there are a lot of use cases or case studies for different organizations, how they implemented, they use the similar approach, and they have reduced incident resolution time by 30%. In fact, they have reduced the overall incident count also, somewhere around 20%, somewhere around 30%. It depends on different domains. You can have it for manufacturing, retail, you can have it in healthcare, you talk about any particular domain. So organizations are making use of it. Improved knowledge management with AI-driven content creation. Now, there are a lot of challenges. As we are talking about the benefits, it's important to talk about the challenges as well, because only then you would be considering whether those LLMs are possible or not. And see, adoption of LLMs is slow only because of these challenges or risk that you see in the market. There's AI bias, so potential for the bias output during the training data limitations, because you're training your LLM on that limited data. So there could be a lot of AI biasness on that. Most of the time, we try to keep the confidential data. I mean, the names of the customers or users. I mean, we don't reveal it to the LLMs so that it should not be misused. So we provide a very limited data, and then with that limited data, the predictive analysis gets impacted. There could be hallucination, like AI may generate incorrect or misleading information. I'll give you an example. See, if you try to get the dump for certain tickets from AI, let's say you are trying to generate that information. So usually, if it is high impact, high urgency, it becomes priority one. But it fails to understand when it should be the P2, P3. So you'll have to train your model on what are those priority metrics that are being used on while prioritizing those incidents. Because if you train your model in certain way, you are being very specific. You provide those, or you feed in those formulas, or you train your models, explain those formulas to the model. Only then you get the right information. Otherwise, there will be that incorrect or misleading information. So that's when we need that person to be subject matter expert to understand whether that information is right or wrong, to vet that particular information. That is when it is needed. Then we need to detect certain compliance issues, like there could be data privacy, security, regulatory compliance. So we need to understand that what IP are we trying to protect, and then train your tools on that specific data. That is the limitation. Well, human oversight, crucial elements like verification and validation of that data, whatever data is generated by the tools, we need to have that capability to validate that information. Otherwise, it will be, I mean, sometimes it gives you a very wrong output, so which you would not be able to utilize, or which will not help you. It will not be beneficial. And then responsible AI development and deployment. Well, now talking about the future trends, shaping the future of ITSM. So AI usage in ITSM is going to grow. So AI-driven automations will be more in demand, more in use. You will have more predictive analytics coming in, like we just took an example. So a lot of information that was not handy, or let's say we used to spend a lot of time on doing that, a lot of manual effort, that gets reduced. Plus, it is giving us intelligent insights about that particular information. It is helping us understand that information. But for that, you need to have the capability to write those prompts. So prompt engineering is really important. And then personalized service experiences. So that's where user experience, customer experience is improving. And that is in demand right now. That's where we are going that extra mile. So these are some of the future trends. Now, evolving roles for IT professionals. So you talk about AI expert, data management, strategic thinking. Now, based on this, these are certain roles. So you can look at the AI engineers, which are going to design and develop advanced AI models for ITSM platforms. You have data scientists analyzing complex IT service data to drive predictive insights. Well, these data scientists would be good at using those LLMs. Then you have AI-enabled service desk analysts, which is in demand even now because organizations are doing a lot of automation in the in service desk area. You have IT automation specialists, you have AI ethics and governance experts, you have AI integration architects. Well, these are some of the trends, some of the emerging career paths that you will see even now and even in the future. So these are some of the paths that are going to take, that will be in demand. Now, what Novel Vista is doing for you. So, team, that was about the AI role in ITSM. Well, we can go further in the depth, but it will be complete day training. So instead of doing that, I've just given you the overview and taken some examples from different processes of ITIL. And that is again at a high level. We can do a lot of deep diving, but as I said, it takes a lot of time. We can spend entire day, in fact, 2 days, even that would be less. So if we talk about Gen AI, what Novel Vista is doing for you, what we bring to you. Well, we are providing a lot of tailored offerings for the entire organizations, for different participants, different customers. In fact, if we talk about these tailored offerings that we bring in, so it includes AI service capability for Gen AI empowerment and development. You have AI tools capability for enhancing productivity. You have AI-based gamifications. We have these sandbox platforms that are being created for pressure onboarding training programs, AI for non-technical people as well, so that how non-technical people can be well versed with the usage of AI. In fact, you need not create the LLM, but how to utilize it or how to use it to the best, what kind of outputs we can get, what kind of prompts that you should feed in into that particular information. Well, going to AI tools capability, these are some of our labs that we create for hands-on experience for different people. We give them that experience or hands-on onto these top AI-powered tools. You can look at precision design or streamlined development cycle, or you look at the efficient testing solutions, effortless deployment, AI-enhanced project management. You will see we are covering almost all different tools that are in AI. And then if we talk about different labs that we create for people, they could be on Azure or OpenAI, Google, AWS. So you can look at all these capabilities. We have custom AI models, AI service integrations being done. Microsoft Azure, where their capability for vision, speech, language, decision, web search that is being used. These are some of the examples, like developing a custom recommendation engine for an e-commerce platform. Then you have building an AI-powered chatbot for customer support. Then training a language model to generate human-like text responses. So like we were training ChatGPT on that particular data. So how do you train different models, LLMs, and you will get those appropriate responses. And then it talks about Google. So using auto ML, auto machine learning to build and deploy a predictive maintenance model for machinery, or implementing computer vision to detect the objects in images using Amazon recognition. So these are some of the examples, some of the tools that we provide. We help people to understand, to learn, and to grow. Well, these are different certifications that are there. Well, for certifications, what are the upcoming certifications that we have? I would say you please get in touch with Mayuri and team, and they will give you more insights onto it. They will also help you with the discounted rates, so you can get in touch with them. Well, now is the time for question answers. So I open this session for the question answers.
Vikas, could you please go to the previous slide?
This one?
Yeah, this is the one.
Okay. Well, we have Gen AI in almost every area. You talk about software development, cybersecurity, business, HR and L&D, finance and banking, marketing, retail, risk and compliance, Gen AI in project management. We are doing lot of things in these areas. In fact, see, you attend these trainings, and like Mayuri said earlier, you get access to the lifelong learning. We provide a free upgrade to the new version of that certification whenever it is launched. So let's say a new version for Gen AI in software development is launched. Then you can go for that certification. I mean, upgrade yourself, and that will be free of cost. So you will get a free voucher code. Training, if you're going for a training, then it will be chargeable. But I think for future upgrades, you attend LMS and you go for it. So it's going to be easy. So you don't have to worry for upgrade or upkeeping those certificates. And these certificates have lifetime validity. And plus, they are available at discounted rates.